right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the booth here for the Rival League Draft, where things are going to be very, very spicy here, or so I'm told. I'm Rocker Man, back in the booth. Chunk Light staying with me here, but we got some two new faces joining us here. Starting out with Flip. Flip, I know you were hyping this one up. I heard the rumors. You said this one was going to be spicy. So what's is it going to be spicy?
I mean, it's Rival League, Rocket Man. Like, what's not gonna be spicy about it? No, I don't know if any snipes are gonna happen or anything crazy like that. But I can tell you right now, I'm gonna be talking a lot of mess because all these players, if they're not on my team, they're the enemy. That's the
Mm.
truth. And so all I know is everybody, uh, be on the lookout because all I can say is picks 1, 2, 3, and 4. I know, and all those players suck. So it's all good.
Wow, wow. All
Yeah.
right. Well, you heard it here first, folks. I mean, I guess they're all going to be bad. Ventus, do you agree? Are all these people going to be bad?
I know a couple of the first picks as well as Flip. I've been talking to a couple of those GMs, and I will not say that those players are bad. They're definitely very good. Flip might just be slightly biased against them because they're not on his team.
Mm.
But I think that it'll shape up interesting. I know that one of the players getting picked very early on was on a lot of draft boards. A lot of people were trying him out, and a lot of people were looking at him. So maybe a little bit of a snipe, but overall, I think a lot of teams knew this player was going to go early, and they weren't going to be able to get him. So maybe they made some adjustments.
Well, we'll have to see. We're going to get things going. Chunk, I'll throw it to you back in the booth here. Do you know what the Kings are doing as they're now on the clock to make the number one overall pick?
Believe I do. This is like the one pick I think I know in Rival, but
Let's go. Let's go.
I do believe that they will be going with one of those top Sal players, Rocker Man, just to get their team rocking and rolling here. And we do see Local come off Rocker Man. It was pretty expected after what we saw him do last season in Chally.
Yeah, local going to be the first pick off the board. Flip, you got some beef with local there. Or you think that's a good
No,
pick?
I think local is great. His ping, not so much. Um, Also, I don't know how, but local has been worth 5 first-round picks in the span of 2 seasons. Somebody make it make sense.
Wow.
And yeah, now and you know what, Speed, you picked up a good player, not a great player. And Bearcat's
Mm.
going with this. This was obvious as well. Both these players, by the way, Chally players. I don't know, was this a Chally last season or is that the season
I
before?
think
I
I
don't
No,
know.
think it was.
he was a rival player.
Oh,
Oh,
okay,
was
okay.
he?
Well, the
Mhm.
season before he was Chally. So two Chally players, previous Chally players, getting drafted here. It's good to see them that they're improving. But at the same time, man, it's just that's who we're picking at this point. I don't know.
Well,
If
I heard that local is actually going to be in the U.S. for the entirety of this season, so he'll be on U.S. ping. So
Oh
it may be
boy.
a little bit of an uptick in that play because he doesn't have to deal with that high ping.
Rocker
And
man.
yeah, Dissa from the Bearcats is one of the guys that I know a lot of players were looking at. Distortion was looking at him, especially with to pair him up with Sprinkle. But I know Kaysen really wanted to get Dissa on his team, and Cozy made that happen. Dissa, a very great player. I just remember in a series that I casted where he had a couple of just absolutely pop off games where he dropped 900 points and solo carried for the entirety of the series. And I think they still lost, but it was against the Blaze pre trade where they got rid of Sanzo and Kisby, so it was a really really strong team.
Hmm. What did you have something to ask there?
I was gonna just say if we move the servers over to East, I know this is on the West Coast, so it's the same thing.
You thinking like a reverse there? Dissa gets
Yeah.
Dissa gets worse ping, and then
Ooh.
local gets
Yes.
the good ping here. But
Hmm.
yeah, that'll be interesting to see local on the good old ping there. So local buff is incoming. I mean, he's moved up to rival, near top of rival. Going first overall. So we'll see what our lovely friend local, longtime Nemesis veteran, what he's got for us there. As next one off the board, going to distortion. Another team that has, again, we mentioned they're always stacking the picks up there. They got two in the first round. Going to go ahead and select Rio, otherwise known as Oyer, otherwise known as Sox. One of the three you choose, but he's going to go off the board. Number three overall, and the Grave Lords are coming right behind, and they are going to select Afterburner with their selection. So a couple of
Okay.
big ones off the board there.
Yeah. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about these two players real quick before the best team in the league makes their pick. Although it's gonna happen pretty quickly. But Rio, he's a player that last season, him and Demas were really good friends and wanted a team. It just didn't work out, and they were on a team on Chimeras. Didn't work out. Demas went to Distortion, and Distortion said, "All right, we lost Demas. Okay, well, let's pick up Rio." And Afterburner, he was super solid on the Knights last season. But the biggest thing is I think Afterburner is a top 5 player in the league, and he was my backup if Flash was unavailable. But my boy Flashy, it's time for this man to cook. He's 1655 and he plays like an 1800 on Tuesdays, not Mondays and Wednesdays. But we'll figure it out.
Oh, that's a problem.
But we'll figure it out. Don't worry.
Maybe
Flashy's
you have
Flashy's
to
is a
move
great
his
pick.
time zone too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
might have
I
to.
really like the Flashy pick. Super mechanical player. I mean, honestly, more mechanical than me, and I'm in Titan. But that's not necessarily a knock on me. It's just talking about how good he is, right, guys? But I mean, I think Flip and Flashies will pair pretty well. I think the play style matches as well. Flip likes to kind of play a second, third man facilitator. Flashy, kind of that first man role, very aggressive, very mechanical, goes for these solo plays, creates the space. I think that team, especially with Arc B-Ball, will work out pretty well.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
one is gonna be a
Whoa.
gonna be a good one there. As next off the board, Thunderbirds, they're gonna go ahead and select Lucky, who was in Prospect last season, moved up to Challenger, and now up to Rival League. Gonna go ahead and pick him up. So some big gains for a Prospect player in season 12.
Yeah, at the rate he's going, he might be Titan at the end of this season, but re- really solid player. I know he likes to play a lot. He grinds 6 mans, really active player, and I think that is a really lowest MMR at that crypt pick, but I believe he can hang in with any rival here, as he has showed he can hang in the lower leagues and get to and improve very rapidly.
Yeah, and that one looks like it might be one of those MMR type of snipes right there. Gonna be able to select him off the board there.
Mm.
As the next one is gonna be Mayo off the board, and now there's multiple Mayos, so now I gotta go do some fact checking. Is that the Mayo, or
Well,
is that like OG Mayo or a
no,
different?
I don't think so. It's a
I don't
different
think
Mayo.
OG Mayo is playing this season. Now, does Dan know that? Did anybody inform Dan that this is not the OG
that's
Mayo?
that's what they're saying. The Mayo. They're saying it's the Mayo, the one that has Dragon Energy AG
No
on his name.
way. Is
Holy
he
moly.
back?
He's back, baby. He's
Oh
back.
my goodness.
And he got sniped right before Hydra was on the clock. Holy moly. I mean, that's a great pickup right there. I'm not gonna lie. Love to see Mayo back in the league.
That is wait, okay. I genuinely thought it was the other Mayo. This Mayo at 1660, a really solid player to build around. And okay, I'm not gonna lie, the other Mayo he was fine. He was good. He was good in twos though. This Mayo,
Mm.
no, I played with him in the Continental Clash or the whatever we call
Yeah,
it.
yeah, that sounds right.
And okay, yeah, there we go. And it was me, him, and Rilo, and we cooked. And so I know Mayo still plays the game at least a little bit.
Yeah, apparently so. 1660
Uh-oh.
is a very good value for him as Ventus, your brother here going off the board to Hydra. Boy Wonder heading over to that org. Empty roster, and he's gonna be their first pick.
Yeah, honestly, he did not tell me about this one. I can't lie. I'm just as surprised as all of y'all. This is the first time I'm hearing that this was the pick. I mean, honestly, this might be a little bit biased as Boy Wonder is my brother, but I think he is the best MMR for his salary. Like, best player for the MMR he's in. Like, at 1625, I cannot think of a single better player than Boy Wonder. If he's your third man, if he's your second man, you have so much ability to work around. Like, he's just a very fast, very consistent player, has a very high floor. And, I mean, overall, good pick from Hydra. I honestly thought people were talking about him going a little bit later, so I don't know if people consider this a reach, but I think it's a pretty quality pick.
Yeah, no, I also like Boy Wonder. He was someone that we were looking at I know Naiche had told me there's no way he's gonna fall to us, but if he's there, he's a good option for sure. Yeah, especially for his MMR, like he mentioned. So he's gonna go head over there to that Hydra roster, and then a couple other picks coming through. Zaya and Marco gonna go off the board. Marco, nominee for goal of the season there. Flip, your former teammate last season. He's heading over to the Knights.
Yeah. I'm glad I could disappoint last season in playoffs. For Marco to keep him winless in playoffs. Marco, buddy, you better hope that I don't play you first round of playoffs because you're not making it past that either way. But it doesn't matter. Marco, really, really good player. Wants to scrim a lot. Is really annoying about it. In fact, also on stream likes to pass it to the other team. What else can I say about Marco? Really, I mean, those are all positives in my opinion. And so I think Marco, just a really solid guy to play with. Really fun.
Yeah. Love to see Marco going off the board there, heading to the Knights to pair with Foam in that org. LeBerry taking over as the GM of that War Room org, but Foam still sticking around on the Knights with the re-sign. And then this is another great pick. I think Ventus might be one person recognize his name. Cool Kyle off the board,
Mm.
former GM in Nemesis coming back, and he is going to be heading over to Distortion.
I love that, honestly. Very, very solid pick. Again, one of these players who's worth his MMR. Like he could be a higher MMR, and I wouldn't bat an eye. And you get him at 1645, and it just works out. The roster works out so well. You got Sprinkle and Rio as the high sals. Cool Kyle running it as your third man. Very solid third man. And I mean, overall, just another good pick from Distortion. But I'm a little concerned about the Knights. Now you have Foam, who is known for not letting the ball drop at 0 seconds, and you pair him up with another choker in Marco, and I'm a little bit worried about this roster. As Marco, very well known for not being able to win in playoffs, but a very good regular season player. So, I have faith that Foam will be able to help him out and give him some solid play, especially in the playoffs. And I mean, Foam last season played extremely well, and I mean, another player who's very worth his MMR. And we'll see. I have faith in the Knights, but we'll really see when it comes to playoff times. But to say that they're already going to be a playoff team is kind of where you're at with them.
I don't know. Flip's Flip's laughing over there. We lost him a little bit, but yeah, no, there. Marco is getting a little shots fired at him and Foam there. But hey, I think you're right that they are going to be a solid team, probably a play-in, playoff contender there for sure. So no hate on those guys. I'll give them their flowers there. As we got the next couple picks flying off the board as well. Gravelords with their second first round pick of the night here. Going to go ahead and select Silver, and then Aura heading to the Chimeras, and then iTrots last season champion there with Snowstorm and an All Star there. Going to go ahead and head over to Galaxy with their selection, putting Blaze now on the clock. So a couple of rapid fire picks there off the board. Some solid selections.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
go
With
ahead, Chuck.
with
My bad.
Trots, like you said, winning that snowstorm chip rocker, man. There is another there's another member on that team also in this draft here, I believe. So it is important to keep in mind all these championship teams will normally bring up a couple players to the higher league. And we saw in the last draft that they were able to really pick up another player that they'd played with before. And I think that will really help at the start of the season just to be familiar with at least somebody on your roster.
Yeah, definitely so. I mean, those champions, a lot of times they do move up to the higher leagues, and you said familiar with someone in your roster. Speaking of familiar, I know one man that loves this guy who just got selected to Blaze with their first pick. It's Hoop Cub Flip. I know
Hey,
you love to see Hoop Cub go off the board
hey.
there, and he's heading over to Blaze to start their roster out.
I know LK's gonna be really upset about that when he wanted Hoop Cub back on
Mm.
Vortex. Just honestly, all four of these picks, these past 4 picks, I kind of know all of them. I know Silver the least, but Silver and Afterburner have teamed in other leagues, and I think they're going to pick up a third who was also on that team. LK is very visibly upset in the Twitch chat right now, and understandable. We were just talking about it how like Hoop Cub was a great third man for him last season. Um, I mean, he assisted the goal of the season, and I know like in this rival league he's gonna start popping off. So T Man with a good pickup there. But Aura and Itrox as well. Man, Itrox is 1700, and he got boosted there in twos by Oibu. Oh my goodness, Itrox, how are you 1700? This is insane. But hey, shout out to DJD for picking him up because I don't think anybody else is going to. But now,
It's
you
Critter
know
Critter
what?
now.
Oh, is it
Well, I guess.
Critter?
Well,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, but
I mean, I guess
DJD's on the
he's
team.
on the roster. Yeah, he's on the roster.
I
So
do
yeah,
think,
maybe it was him.
hey, Critter, bro. I love you. That draft. I don't know if you made it. Yeah, I'm sorry. My fault. No, Hoop Cub, great player, great pickup there from T-Man. And now we got to see if the Mafiosos can start cooking.
Yeah, no, a couple of solid selections, and the Gravelords, who we touched on briefly with their first two picks here, pretty much they've got a three-man roster there with Afterburner, Silver, and Macarios coming back. Still 17-15 remaining, so we'll see what Jarhead and company have cooking up for the Gravelords, and then the Chimeras also sneakily rounding out their starting roster. Saucy and Kiwi re-signing, and then Aura also there as well. So 16-19 remaining for them, and then the Mafiosos. Are trying to go ahead and select Alex the 100 here, and I'm trying to figure out who it is. Let's see if the good old at system does me good. It does. Perfect. Alex the one is going to be the one for the mafiosos there, going alongside Swift and Savvy
Nice.
on the roster there. So first round is complete. Chunk, I want to throw it to you. What do you make here of the first round? Any surprises or anything that really sticks out to you?
Uh, no, not really. The Lucky kind of surprised me, but like you said, that is a really good trade fodder. And even if you do not trade Lucky away, is a really good player. And other than that, add an idea where all these players were gonna get drafted high up, and it just really happened.
Yeah, it did happen. Ventus, as we head on to round number two, I can ask you, what do you make of this first round in the rival league?
No, we got a lot of solid teams, right? Like I think Pineapples, their starting three is very solid. Arrival, obviously, they didn't have a pick in the first round, but their team is already pretty solid. I think they just need maybe a little bit better of a third man than Maddie, and I mean Kizvi and Thai Chad, absolutely demons. Especially when you take out some of these other top players like Flip Gator that was their last season. Kamikaze, Muffin, none of those guys are in the rival leagues anymore. They didn't re-sign up, and guys like Sanzo and Zimity and Lush, all these top end rival guys got moved up, and now like I consider Kisby and Thaichad both top rival guys previously, and now they just have even less competition. It's very very scary for a lot of the other rival teams, and then Bearcats I think is just going to be a mechanical masterclass between Dissa and Kaysen. I think those three teams right now are turning out pretty well.
Yeah, I love the arrival shout out as Distortion is now on the clock to start round number two here. But I do love the arrival shout out. That was a big trade that me and Thai Chad worked out with T Man in the offseason, trading for Kisby to get him on the roster. Thai Chad said, I want him. And I was like, all right, we'll go get him. So we worked it out. We got him. And, yeah, we're gonna have our first pick of the draft coming up a little bit later on. So we'll see who we're gonna be going ahead to select. But speaking of select, we have got Distortion gonna go ahead and select Quake with their selection.
No.
Whoa, whoa. I mean,
Whoa,
sounds like it was a little bit of a snipe possibly, and I think Flip thinks that's a great pick.
It's a really good pick, and that's what's annoying about it. Because I'm like, okay, these guys they need a third, or sorry, they need a fourth. They need to just pick one of these lower MMR players. And I look at it, and I'm like, man, I know Quake's actually pretty good. I don't have any clue who my fourth is gonna be, but I just saw Quake down there. I'm like, oh, look, I'll pick Quake whenever he comes around, and I guess he's not coming around, so it's
He's
okay.
not coming around.
Change
Yeah,
of plans.
two-time All-Star there in Quake, heading over to Distortion. So I like the selection as well. Playing with him on the All-Star team a couple seasons ago, and playing against him, definitely a a solid player there. And then speaking of solid players as well, I like this selection too for the Kings. Going to go ahead and select Visk, who was very solid in the Challenger League last season, moving up into Rival League this season. Going to be local Visk and Blazin right now, looking like the starting 3-man roster. And then the next picks are just coming in rapid fire here as Nuki is going to go off the board to Whiteout, and then Vortex, they are going to make their selection. It is going to be Doge with their picks. So a couple of rapid fire picks right there. These guys were locked and loaded for round 2.
Yeah, it seems like no snipes really happening, except for maybe Quake, according to Flip. Maybe he was looking at getting Quake, but
yeah, not even a snipe. Just,
uh,
just
I mean,
talking.
all very solid players. I always say that round 2 is kind of where you make or break your team. If you kind of take a very hard, if you don't get value in the second round, if you reach very hard in the second round, you're definitely going to be a little bit out of luck. And I think that all these players are very solid. I think that having Local and Visk already have played together a lot last season, that they should be pretty good together chemistry wise. And for the Kings. Doge, I don't know too much about. I don't know if that's a rename or what, but LK, I always have trust in LK making teams. And it looks like Dalen actually getting picked for Galaxy. That one might be a little bit of a snipe. I think that Crip was maybe looking at Dalen to be one of his players, but Dalen apparently is very solid from what I've been hearing. So another good pick for him. But Flip, you're talking about looking at another player to round out your team. I see a player that I really like down at 1643 that was really good in the Challenger League coming up. Maybe might get sniped before your pick, but I think that's a might be a pretty good pick for any team that figures out what MMR I'm talking about.
Well,
well,
Me
well,
too.
well, well,
Well,
Ventus, we do got to talk about these last couple picks, and we do got to talk about that aforementioned 1643 MMR off the board. Caliber going to Knights, and then Mr. Crates heading over to Arrival. That 1643 you were talking about. We were eyeing him up. That was his number one guy. He messaged me number one. Get him no matter what, and he fell to us. So I am very happy to see Mr. Crates, obviously Finals MVP in Challenger last season, moving up to Rival. Gonna be a great team. I'm loving the Rival League draft right now. So I just love to see it.
I'm sad.
Yeah.
I think this Arrival team just got 10 times better, and that's a problem. But Caliber also getting selected for the Knights. Last season, he was on a Hydra team that like overperformed based on their like MMRs, and Caliber was the main overperformer. He was like this almost the exact same MMR last season, and he outperformed, in my opinion, he outperformed Saucy and Oshi, um, who were two players that were like 80 MMR higher than him. And Caliber said, "Nah, I'll be the starter," and he proved it. And so now with the Knights picking him up, they have 1697 left. I don't like you could pick up a 1697. I don't know if they're gonna be better than Caliber. And obviously Kratos is really good. And you know what? Mist is gonna go ahead and get taken as well. So the Kings filling out their roster as well. A lot of these teams really started to form, and still the scariest one is Arrival, and that really sucks.
I love to hear this. Can you say that one more time? Can we do that one more time?
I think I said Arrival sucks. Something along those lines.
Dang it. Almost. But yeah, Chunk, what are you making of these last couple picks here off the board? As the next one is coming as well. Bearcat's gonna go ahead and select a ragtag barrel.
Yes.
I had a feeling that Kratos was gonna be highly sought after last season, as I didn't see him because of the little name change on sheet, but everyone from that snowstorm roster moved up, and just a really good player to round out that arrival team. And I know that a lot of these rosters have 3 players, but there's 3 of them that only have 1 so far, and I'm really interested to see how Blaze, Hydra, and Vortex will round out their rosters here.
Yeah, those are
Mm.
some rosters to watch out as Flip and the Pineapples going to be thinking about their selection. But yeah, the Blaze still have 2 more picks to go here in this second round, and then Hydra They've got one more pick in this round and then two more in the third. So a lot of building. And then Vortex has some pick in the fourth. I was trying to make some trades with LK, and he said he's fine. He said he doesn't want to move anywhere. I was like, all right, whatever, Mister LK. So he's taking what's coming to him down there. So we'll see more about them as the time goes on. But yeah, Ragtag Barrel heading to the Bearcats there with their selection, rounding out their roster, 1692. So really using the MMR. And then the Pineapples here, Flip, gonna go ahead and select not Alex with your selection.
Yeah, I had to pick up not Alex because one, that's my boy. That's my homie. Two, he's really bad at Rocket League. Nobody else is gonna pick him up. Three, he's always available, and he's also. I know he's Western time, and so like we can schedule games later. And if I can't make a letter game, um, but I know he's. I'm getting some insane DMs from Flashy. It starts with "What are you doing?" Alex hates me. So yeah, this is gonna be an
Wow.
interesting
Wow.
rival season we got cooking up over here on the Pineapples.
Wow. I mean, I guess we're going to have to watch out on the Pineapples. We're going to have some infighting for sure there. So watch out if you're a Pineapples fan. I guess maybe they can. Hey, you know what? Maybe Nemesis can really bring them together.
My
Just
goat.
kind of overcome everything. As Game Buster is going to head off the board to the Gravelords, and then Hydra is going to come through and select Anthony with their selection. So a couple of picks, and I got to try to find the right Anthony. Yes, we got him. We got him,
Okay,
ladies and gentlemen.
real quick, just talking about Game Buster. I'll let one of you guys, other guys, talk. But man, this dude, like most consistent shower like first sub ever. I don't know how many games I missed last season. I don't know how many games Squintle missed last season. And Game Buster was there every time. I'm pretty sure he played more games than Squintle or more games than Squintle. So that's just how good Game Buster is. He told me not to draft him, which kind of made me upset. But it's because he wanted to go to this Great Lords team. Anthony's also pretty good. Had to throw that in.
I think the Game Buster is a great pick. I think he finally gets a chance to start. He was kind of sat behind some good players on Pineapples last season. He didn't really get a chance, and now he's going to the Grave Lords, Afterburner, Game Buster, and Silver. It honestly seems like a pretty good team overall. I really like Afterburner, and I think that Game Buster kind of just pairs well with anybody. He can kind of do exactly what you need him to. And I guess Blade likes Winter, which is a little bit surprising to me, taking one of the very lowest MMR salaries. There's one player on the board still that I'm surprised is there, and that's Luma. I feel like he had a really good season with the Knights last season, and he has not gotten any attention or any love right now, and I'm kind of surprised. Maybe Blaze will get him if Whiteout doesn't here. They still have a lot of picks left. I feel like Luma was talked about being an he was a first or early second round pick last season, had a really good solid season, and nobody seems to want him now. So maybe somebody will get lucky and get a lot of value.
Yeah, he's still on the board as Winter is gonna head over to Blaze, and then Evan is gonna head over to Whiteout. And now Blaze is back up again, and yeah, they maybe could be eyeing to jump up a little bit on that board here. Still almost 3,400 cap room remaining. So we'll see what they end up going to here, as Blaze is going to be rounding out round number 2 here. Chunk, any thoughts on the last couple picks or how the teams are turning out as we're nearing round 3?
I was a little surprised, like they said about that Winter pick, with them really having a whole lot of room to pick who they wanted. I kind of get the vision. Most of the teams already have their top cells picked out. You can really snipe or get the lower cell you want here before you pick up your high cell, and they will pick up Amethyst Nuke, who I believe has been down there in Prospect, and he has come up to almost 1700 MMR. So it'll be interesting to see how he performs.
Yeah, no, it looks like they have Dissolved in their name. So Dissolved last season, or the last season they played at least. So Challenger moving up to Rival now. So making some gains at the very least. Ventus, what do you make of this round number 2 and how everything's kind of settling up so far?
Honestly, I don't know what to put together with Blaze. I really have no clue how to gauge this team. Hoop Cub was a good pick. I don't really know much about Amethyst, and I don't know how Winter's gonna perform. I know he did pretty solid when he was down in Challenger, but I think he had a chance up in Rival last season, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that. But he didn't seem to be able to find his stride with any team, and I feel like I'd want to go with a more established player, maybe, like Luma. Maybe I'm just glazing Luma, but I think that a lot of these teams have their rosters now. A lot of them, I feel like this draft has gone really quickly, so not really anybody messing with each other's picks. It seems everybody's kind of gotten who they want and who they like to play with. So I'm really excited to see how this goes. I don't think Lightspeed has had a pick yet this draft. They already have Landon and Xerox, but I think that they're looking for a third over Parker. And having to wait for the very end might be a little risky. But besides that, I think every team has kind of done pretty well with the picks they've had.
Yeah, looking solid so far. Flip, what do you make before we head on to round number 3?
So I'm just gonna go real quick. Pineapple's good. Blaze, what? Whiteout suck. Chimera's pretty good. Arrival, boo, really good. Gravelords, I like that team. Thunderbirds, Crip, man, what the heck are we doing? DJD and Trots are kind of funny on Galaxy. Who else matters? Oh, Dissa and Kaysen on the team's kind of funny. Overall, I think a lot of these teams are gonna. I gotta see how a lot of these like teams shape out because it's just such a different like MMR range. I feel like, and I feel like the players are just so different from last season. So I really got to see who starts to stick. But a couple like hidden ones, I think Chimeras are sneaky good with Aura and Saucy, two really solid players, and I think Landon and Xerox, if Lightspeed can get a good third, um, not that I'm seeing one on the board, they can start to cook.
Well, we will have to see as we are going to continue on to round number 3 here, putting the Thunderbirds on the clock again. As always, reminder, those blank spots are teams that have already got 4 people on their roster or not enough room to select a fourth. But most of those rosters, I believe, are filled up, and it's going to put the Thunderbirds on the clock to see what Crip is going to be cooking. We saw him, Zaya, and Lucky now 1668 remaining to make their last selection here.
Who knows what Crip is doing? I don't know. Crip's doing something over there though, and I'm really. I think that if Lucky is grinding and if Lucky is continuing to prove at the rate he is, Thunderbirds could be a little bit of a dark horse team. Like obviously Crip is pretty good. He's 1740, one of the highest sals in Rival League, and he's really fast, pretty mechanical as well. It's just kind of the supporting cast are a lot of question marks. And if Crip really knows what he's doing and thinks he has it down, I'll trust him. He's a GM. I won't get in his way, and maybe Thunderbirds will just come out with a good pick.
They got a lot of options. I'll tell you that they got a lot of options. 1668 remaining. Can get all but the top 5. So they can do whatever they want here, really. And that's always exciting as a GM here. You got a lot of options.
Moss, I think he's going Moss. That's my prediction. I don't know. I haven't seen it. That's who he's going with.
Okay, he's calling it out.
Well,
Uh, anyone
Crip's
else?
actually asking me for who I think he should pick. So maybe
Oh,
I'm
what?
dictating who he's picking.
Oh wow.
Let's see. Who do I think
Ventus
he should pick, guys?
returning to his GM days.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I don't know. I know that Eggy D's pretty active, and from what I've seen, he's a pretty solid player. I think that he could get picked. Again, I really like Luma, but Thunderbirds don't have enough space for Luma. I feel like that would be a sure first
boo.
pick. But maybe I'll just ride the flip train. Maybe Moss is the right pick.
Well, I mean, if it was the right pick, then Crip made the wrong one. He's gonna go with
Right.
he's gonna go with someone else, but he's gonna go with Remy, who I've seen in Nemesis before. So A solid selection right there. Again, don't know too much about Remy, but I have seen them around. So, hey, that could be a solid round out right there. Active Nemesis player. Always love the activity. So that could be the move. I mean, we're just shooting darts too. So he probably has a little bit of a better idea than us though.
Oh
What do you
yeah,
think?
definitely. I mean, when you though I will say once you're getting down to kind of these players who are one either new to the server and don't have a name for themselves yet, or two, you're kind of just not sure about players and their play style. Honestly, your guess is as good as ours. Like any person could say, "Oh yeah, this person's good," and I'd be like, "Honestly, he probably is," and you might know more than me. But with what GMs are working with, if you don't go to tryouts, if you don't go to scrims, if you're not active in the Discord, there's a good shot you're not going to get on a team. And I hope that Remy is a good pick. And I don't know if Crypt has known if he's active or not, but we'll trust Crypt's decision.
Yeah, we'll see what see if he's got it right there as okay, I'm just curious there. As everyone can still be selected here, as the Rising Drift is going to be the one heading over to the Chimeras to close out their roster at 16-15, and the Knights going to be on the board, and the Knights are going to go ahead and select Atlas with their selection. I think that is their final selection, I do believe. Yeah, they're going to go the final selection 1642 with their pick, and they're going to put Lightspeed on, which I believe is this the first time we're seeing Lightspeed in this draft right here, down in round
Yep.
3. I think it is.
Yeah, I
So
mean, they need a good pick here. They have a lot of space. The only people they can't get is the top three guys. But again, a lot of these guys I don't recognize, and I've been in the league for 13 seasons now. So maybe, and I'd say I'm a pretty active member in the Discord. I cast pretty frequently, and I'm pretty knowledgeable. I'd like to say for myself. And if I'm not recognizing names, they're probably new. I know Justice. He's just a different name. He rebranded from J Dubs to Pyrus to Justice to who knows.
What?
He likes to
Jacobs?
rebrand a lot. This so that's J
I
Dubs
just
is
don't
actually
mind, man.
Justice up there.
This
Oh,
Um,
lower self Jacobs.
this
Oh,
this is why we
so
limit name changes.
yeah,
I want to see it.
that's the other thing, man. If you change your name and expect people to know you, it's not gonna end well. But honestly, like everybody's guess is as good as mine. I have no clue who's gonna go there. The only people I know are Polash, Doodle, Luma, and Justice, and Eggy D, and Daydreams. I keep adding names. That's it.
Yo,
There you go.
yo, Ventus, hear me out. Hear me out. You love Luma so much. They're getting rid of Parker, or you said they don't want Parker as their third. They could get Luma by dropping Parker and picking up the lowest Sal Hydro after the draft if Luma goes undrafted. So
Maybe.
Luma,
I'm looking for Luma. I'm looking at
uh,
the mafiosos right here. Luma 1732 MMR or wait, no,
I don't
wait, I
know. It
meant
might be. It
Luma.
might.
I'm looking at
I meant
Hydra.
Justice. Justice 1732 is what I was looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Luma is still available for a couple of teams, but I was looking at actually mafiosos for Justice 1732 remaining, and that's exactly how much MMR they have. I'm just throwing it out there. I just the numbers
It's
are
a
looking too
sign.
good. They're
uh,
looking too good.
the puzzle's fitting too well.
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes when the puzzle just fits, you just gotta put it down. So we'll see. We'll see if they do that though.
Yeah, I don't really know who's starting in that mafioso squad between Swift and Savi, or if they're both starting and they're just looking for a sub as well. I mean I think the only people or the only top styles that can get picked are either you might have just called it, Rucker Man. They're gonna take Justice with their pick here, perfect salary cap room. Maybe you just had a premonition there and I just knew it before we did, but I think
I'm trying to find
Luma
him.
Luma will either go to Vortex or Hydra, is what I'm assuming. I don't think that LK will not take Luma.
Yeah. Well, he is off the board. I had to find him. He's Kaji there, Pyrus there, whatever his name may be. He's off the board, heading to the mafiosos. Zero cap room remaining. So they used it all up there and made it happen. As he's off the board, right there, we saw a mystery. think I'm assuming it's Mystery going off to
Ah,
Lightspeed. So their pick, and then Galaxy is going to come through and select
Doodle.
a Nemesis legend. Doodle is off the board there, heading
Doodle.
over to Galaxy.
that's one. I wonder, Doodle. I don't know if I don't know if there's a record, Rocker Man, but there should be a record, at least some sort of record kept. I think he made it to 12 teams one time, or 10 teams one time,
Mhm.
in one of the seasons. Yeah. So Doodle, he's a journeyman. That's what we'll call him.
Journeyman, yeah.
Yep. And you know what? He might just make a stop at the pineapples after I drop some players. So
Oh wow.
Yeah, honestly, that flashy guy looking a little bad,
Yeah.
yeah,
so
yeah,
maybe he
pretty
needs to get
much,
dropped.
Suspicious.
pretty much. Ooh, okay, but Hydra here going back to back. Moss and Polash, I was talking about Moss earlier. I know Moss; he's a very solid player. And Polash as well. Now
Yeah.
Moss has been in the league before. I would say Polash. I think is I'm surprised to see him up high like at 1645. But I know Moss is a really solid player, and so I do think Hydra. I think their top three players personally are Boy Wonder, Anthony, and Moss. But I don't know. Maybe Polash has gotten a lot better since the last time I saw him.
I feel like they left a lot of cap room on the table. I feel like instead of getting Polash, they could have gone with a very established rival league player already and gotten Luma. And I think LK's wiping the sweat off his face. He was really panicking there, thinking that Luma might have gotten taken just the pick before him. Kind of lucks out, honestly. I think Luma is easily a second round talent. Getting him in the very end of the third round, I mean, kind of dodges a bullet. Maybe not trading with you is the right player, Ackerman. He gets to save a little bit of a draft capital for the future, and he kind of lucks into getting Luma. I think that Anthony, Luma, and Boy Wonder would have been a really good team. I'm not too. I don't know Moss. I have to rely on Flip's word for that one. And Polash, obviously, he played pretty well in the Challenger League last season, but he did have eye trots and Crates, both players who played absolutely fantastic. He was kind of more so the third man in that group. I personally put Trots and Crates above Polash, so I'm a little questioning how he's gonna do in Rival League. I might be eating my own words. Flash forward to when he's winning MVP, but uh, I think that Hydra, a couple interesting decisions. Honestly, I don't know what's going on over there either. I didn't even know if Boy Wonder was going to go there, but he gets picked.
Yeah, that will be interesting. Round three, wrapping up here. We actually only have three more picks left in the Rival League draft, as we'll head to round four in just a sec. But one last time before we do flip, what do you make of the last couple picks? We saw Luma head over to Vortex. There's SETI, and now we've kind of got a couple of rosters. Well, pretty much every roster rounded out except for Vortex and Blaze, who will make their last selections in the round to come.
Yeah, just looking at these rosters now, I think we're starting to see. I'm not gonna lie here. Is a lot of unknown players, in my opinion. And so there's a lot of variables. But from the known players, I'm seeing a couple really good teams here. And so I do think that there's kind of a gap. But I also, at the same time, I think each team has that one really solid player, or one or two, I should say, that like okay, that's gonna be a good team because this player's on there. Um, and then there's Blaze, who I don't even know what's happening over there. Hookup's really good. He has no help so far. But T-Man did DM me just now
Hey, you got
saying,
that one as well?
he said he's gonna make a pick in the fourth here, in the fourth round here, and he's a 2K peak player. So
Wow.
I don't know.
Oh, ref,
Yeah,
ref, we
yeah.
not doing anything about
This was back.
that.
Okay,
Odds.
okay. Wait, hold on.
Odds.
It was back in 2018. It was back in 2018. But
Hmm.
he's really good, apparently.
All right. Well, let's head over to that fourth round. Let's see if we have to get the moderation team involved. As Vortex is going to be going on the clock here, and they already got their selection ready to go. They're going to go ahead and select Premium Manatee with their
W name.
selection. I mean, yeah,
Yes.
premium manatee. I mean, maybe it's a shout out to go subscribe to Nemesis Premium in the Discord, get some cool perks or something.
Mm.
Mm, mm. He's a he's a a placed man there. We set it up. We set it up. But
So it seems like this premium manatee guy was the
oh
peak
wow.
2K player that Blaze was really hoping to get with the last pick of the draft. And now Blaze absolutely in shambles. T-Man not really sure what to do. I wonder if he DM'd Flip the same thing, because I know
Well,
Flip was over there getting a chuckle in as well.
A snipe in round 4. I mean, when does this happen? Wow.
gosh.
A snipe on Mr. Irrelevant too.
Yeah, pretty much. Just about right there. As yeah, Premium Manatee's gonna be heading over to Vortex. So LK, he knows. It looks like he got
He
some
knows
revenge. He
ball.
said, yeah, he said, you take mine, I'll take yours. So I mean, maybe a revenge snipe, in some way right there. As Vortex gonna make their last selection, and they are gonna select Talon with their pick, and now T-Man, I'm sure he is scrambling to make his final selection and the final selection of the Season 13 Rival League Draft.
Yeah, there's not a lot of players left. It's
Agreed.
probably why it's the last pick of the draft. But
Mhm.
maybe shouldn't have waited that long to make your final pick. I honestly, I just assume he's probably going to go Eggy D. I think he's probably the most known player out of these guys. And actually has a good MMR, relatively filling out his roster. Honestly, I have no clue what he's going to do. I don't think he knows what he's going to do anymore, because he was so dead set on being able to get this player Premium Manatee that he had all of his hopes and dreams in, and all that is snatched away. Honestly, T-Man's probably just going to be like, yeah, let's chalk up the rival season. Let's just go to the next.
I mean, he did profit though from trading away Kisby, and now he's hoping to try to work something back there. Got to make the last selection, but yeah, there are some recognizable names. Eggy D, you can get anyone 1681 and below on the board. So Daydreams is there, Blitz RL, Numzo, Magix, Wash Tall Man, and Hydra RL. So some good options there. I don't recognize Magix, Daydreams, Eggy D. So we'll see where he decides to go, and he is gonna go ahead and select Blitz RL with his final selection. So, and he also says that he hates LK. This is
That's good. That's
this
good.
is
That's
so
good.
this is so sad to see, but it does happen sometimes. But the last pick does come through there. Gonna close things out here, with the Season 13 Rival League Draft, and now we get our fun part about going around the room and seeing which rosters we're liking here. Chunk, I'm gonna start with you. What's a roster you're looking at, or maybe two rosters that are like, okay, those are gonna be some either good teams, or I really like what they wound up with this draft.
So I think if Premium Manatee is that 2K and he got Luma at the end of that draft, I think Vortex just may have got the steal of their life with those draft picks. But like we were talking about earlier, Arrival really scary. Pineapples with Flip back. Uh, I don't know how they'll do with Arc V Ball, but I have faith that Flip will at least get to the postseason again. Other than
I,
that, Dissa and Kaysen scary combo, and uh, those are the teams that I really pop out to me on paper.
Fair enough. Flip, we'll throw it to you. Who are you looking at in the rival league here? Who had a good draft this season?
I think Gravelords really did get a nice team that honestly, uh, I think like they play together. Like I know these like Silver, Gamebuster, Afterburner all have played together before, maybe multiple times. Like they are a team. It feels like so. I know Afterburner and Gamebuster are like really good friends as well. So that's a really solid team with good chemistry. Going to be a nice shock for some of these teams. I'm kind of looking around trying to see another one that's like not the obvious one, but to be honest, I mean, the best team in the league is just a rival right now. Uh,
Oh, not even your own team.
well, I
Like
would like I
he's
can't
like
say my own
story.
team. Um,
That's
now
funny.
I will say the caveat is I think Kisby played really really well with Zimity and Sanzo. He needs players to play like that. He needs that fast pace, instant go, like because Kisby's biggest weakness always was his third man rotation, and Sanzo and and Zimity were just so fast that they were able to get back for him or pressure for him. So I think if Kisby is able to work in the system, it works. If not, it's gonna fall apart really quickly, and Daicha is gonna be begging for me back.
We'll see. We'll see. Ventus, who are you looking at here?
You know, I feel like a lot of these teams have gotten a lot of love. So maybe I won't pick the obvious two that I really think are a bit better than the rest. I'm going to go down. I'm going to say Vortex, a lot of value. I like Bearcats a lot. I think that those two teams are going to be surprisingly good. I think that I might be getting told by Crip to make sure I talk about him. Okay, so he wants me to talk about the Thunderbirds being one of the top teams. Thunderbirds, if Crip's vision is what he says it is, maybe they're a top team. And then I think Knights. I gave crap to Marco and Foam about being slightly playoff chokers, but in all honesty, they are a pretty solid team. One that is going to be pretty good, especially in the regular season. They will make playoffs, so I can already just know that they're a top team. Foam gets into playoffs every single season without fail. I don't know how he does it. He just does it. He goes like 0-8 to start at the season, and then turns out and goes 10-8, makes the 6th seed, and just has a run through playoffs. It's almost like he just plans it to happen that way. And I think that Knights are going to surprise a lot of teams.
Hey, fair enough, fair enough. A lot of good shouts. I want to shout out a couple of teams that weren't really mentioned as well. Looking at Distortion again, another team that we had multiple first round picks to see what they can do. With Sprinkle coming back, who we didn't really get to mention, but Sprinkle Rio, Ku Kyle, and Quake there on that roster. I am very curious about Whiteout as well. We mentioned the real Mayo is back. The OG Mayo over there on a whiteout. So I'm curious to see how that team actually turns out with Nuki and Evan. That could be a sleeper team as well. I am interested to see about Chimeras over there, and then I love the Kings. I love the Kings down there too. I'm really curious about the local story arc this season. Being on the U.S. ping here. I'm expecting him to have a good season. So keep an eye out, low key, on the Kings down there to see if they can do something over there with local Visc, Blazin, and Mist. But yeah,
Deli
it
team.
was a it was an exciting draft in the rival league for sure. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much gonna wrap it up here. We got to talk about a lot of teams, a lot of great picks. Again, if you were a player that did not get selected, a reminder just to stay active. We say it after every draft, but just a reminder, stay active in the Discord. These teams are going to need replacements throughout the season at some point. So if you stay active, there's a good shot you'll get hit up and possibly get added onto a team very shortly after. So make sure to do that. But with that being said, we are going to head to a short break. But when we come back, we're heading to the Titan League. Now 12 teams in Titan League. We'll talk a lot more about that when we come back from this short break. A big shout out to Chunk for helping us out with the first two casts. He is going to be heading out for the night. Coin will be coming back. Me, Flip, and Ventus will also be here one more time. But yeah, we're going to head to a short break. And when we see you guys in the next one, we got the Titan League draft. So stick around and we'll see you guys in a few minutes.